Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition. In this episode, I don't know what I'm doing, because I always forget why I say that. It's just habit now. Alright, so let's see what track we're going to this time. Already did those. Oh, this one. The Lightning Scar. No, I don't like this stage. It's not that it's bad or anything, it's just I'm not very good at it. And I'm going to try using the Monkey Engineer right here. Now, the reason I don't really like this stage, because I'm not good at it, but the reason I'm not good at it is because, similar to on the stage Switch, the path splits right here. So instead of wanting to build a defense that fits both sides, I'd rather focus all of my attention right here on this one strip, this one lane, so that I don't have to worry about it splitting into different paths. But this is a really small portion of the track to have to focus on, and it's just one big diagonal line, so it's kind of hard for me to plan my stuff around it, especially because the track kind of gets in the way right here. But I think I should do okay. I mean, I've beaten it before, I think. Right? Yeah. I've beaten this track before. There is a special mission that you have to do here that I'll show in a video some other time. And that mission is actually pretty hard. At least it was for me. I don't know if anyone else has done it and thinks it's easy or anything. But as you can tell, I'm using the Monkey Engineer as my tower because it has a really good straight line lane busting pierce. Plus, it has these other sentries that help get any other Bloons that the actual engineer misses. Now, just because of how effective he is at this point, I'm kind of thinking of going like all engineer team, but I don't think that'll be very effective against the Moabs, because he's good at piercing, but he's not good at rapid fire on a single target, which is why giving him a bunch of sprockets would be nice, but then he wouldn't be able to detect all the camo and the lead. So instead of that, I will give him sprockets and then use something else to detect the lead and camo. Now what I will use, I do not know yet, although I'm thinking I should use the mortars, because I haven't used them very often. There was just that one stage where I used a whole bunch of them. But they are pretty good, even though I very rarely use them. One thing that they're good at is that they're able to not only detect camo, but make the camo Bloons detectable by other towers, which is very useful. It's just that I always use towers that can already detect it, so I don't usually need it. But because of how useful the Monkey Engineer is here, and because he can't detect camo, he does have the upgrade to it, but he's a little more effective this way. Then I will use the mortar tower. And there is an interesting thing that I think it's a bug, I guess, but I'm not sure if they've fixed it yet or anything with the mortar tower. It's something that I wouldn't mind if it's never fixed, because it has to do with the noise that it makes when it explodes. Obviously you can still hear it every time the bomb goes off. And also, as a side note, it's always nice to put the mortar tower farther away from the track, or farther away from where you're putting your other towers, so that he's not taking up the room of any other towers, because like the Dartling gun, he has pretty much infinite range, because you can determine where he goes. Where he shoots, I mean. But anyways, so it's nice to put him far away. And he doesn't have a very good fire or attack rate, but if you built 2 or 3 and just kind of spaced out the attacks, then you'll make sure that you hit every Bloon. But he's doing pretty good on his own right there. Now, I think also another thing is that a lot of his upgrades, his first 2 tiers on either side, the upgrades are actually pretty cheap compared to a lot of other towers. So here, Bernie stuff, a touch of Monkey Napalm, pops additional Bloons every 2 seconds after impact for 6 seconds, which is kind of like a, what's it called? The corrosive glue on the glue gunner, except it doesn't slow it down. But it does sort of light them on fire, which is pretty nice. But then once you, I haven't really tested this too much, once you have the increased accuracy and burny stuff, if you make it bigger blast, yeah, now it's odd. Dang it, I don't have camo yet. But now, maybe it's just me, but you can't hear the explosion anymore. Which, again, I don't know if that's a bug, I don't know if they meant it to do that, but personally I just kind of don't like the sound of the explosion. Again, it's not bad, it's just personal preference, I don't really like it. So it's nice to be able to use the mortar tower and not have to hear the sound. I'm just going to place another one, which will of course bring back the sound. But just because the one mortar tower isn't quite enough to destroy everything, plus I need more experience to get the signal flare, which is actually why I used this thing in the first place, to be able to detect camo. And now there's lead, which is another reason why I brought it, so that's nice. But around 33 I'm going to need some camo detection, because that's when a lot of the that's when the second wave of camo balloons actually appears. So I'm going to need something with camo detection. But what shall I use? Because if I get something else that's camo detection, then that kind of defeats the purpose of using these as camo detection. And is this going to be enough? No, I need to put down some road spikes, because the problem with the regrow and any kind of damage over time is that it sort of cancels out the regrow effect, but then that also cancels out the burning effect. So also the burning it gets most of them. I did just lose 2 layers. Should have been 3 layers, I think, but oh well. And yeah, so that gets most of it. Now I still need some camo detection, so I'm going to use a Dartling gun. I was going to say just for this round, like maybe I should sell it, but I think I will keep it, just because it is useful and I do like them and everything. And I think they do still need a little bit more experience. I don't remember. I'm not going to upgrade it that much because I've already got a good engineer, and with these mortar towers, then I should be set. I don't need much. I don't need a really good Dartling gun, I just need a little bit for the camo detection. So that's also something you need to think about if you're playing the game. You don't have to worry about upgrading every tower that you have to its absolute best, because chances are, in this sort of situation, you're not really going to need a super awesome Hydro Rocket Pod Dartling gun when you've got these other good towers. Now, obviously I do need a little more help, and I'm going to miss those. No, I got it. Alright. I am going to give him a little bit faster barrel spin with his upgrade. But that might be it. Actually, no, I should give him powerful darts. Okay, so even though I said I didn't really need to upgrade him, I didn't really need to upgrade him at that time. So I am going to need to upgrade him more. Not to the Hydro Rocket Pods, or the Laser Blasts, but, and probably not Bloontonium, because the mortar towers do get that pretty well. So just the powerful darts to help him pierce through a little bit more, and then I'll be set with my Dartling gun. And, oh, what about those camo? I'm gonna lose some. Oh well, that wasn't very efficient. Balloon Buster mortars smash through 2 layers of balloons at once. This was something that's actually pretty nice about the, I keep forgetting what they're called, mortars, is that in the first game that they were announced, they had that balloon busting ability where they could pop through 2 layers at once. And it was the first time a tower could pop through more than 1 layer, which of course was 2 layers, which wasn't a huge increase, but an increase nonetheless. So that was how they were unique, aside from actually being able to aim where they are and all that. But then in this game, because they were introducing Blue Star Defense 4, which was also pretty good, I liked it a lot. But anyways, now in Bloons Tower Defense 5, you have the Sniper, which can pop through more than 2 layers with each shot, which makes it even more unique in that regard, but then kind of disregards the uniqueness of these mortar towers. And I'm surprised that there are still some getting through, which is probably because of zebra balloons. Those are, and black balloons, because they're immune to the, whatchamacalled? I'm losing my train of thought here. They're immune to the explosion. Okay, I'm going to be losing some lives on this round. Because of the ceramic balloons, those are tough. But, and again, the whole reason I was using these mortar towers is because of their camo detection, and I still haven't gotten it yet. Just one more round, maybe two, or wave, and then they'll have the camo detection. So that'll be good. Just a second. Okay, signal flare. Camo balloons popped by this tower permanently lose their camo status and can be attacked by towers without camo detection. Basically what I already explained. So now, just gonna try to, yeah, that's already good. Try to aim these a little bit in a, what am I doing? There we go. Okay, aim these in a bit more of a spread so that they're actually getting balloons in a wider radius, I guess. And they're not all concentrated on one area. That way they're not just gonna... I don't know what I'm saying anymore. If they're all targeted on one area, then they might not hit all of the balloons, and wow, I'm gonna lose a lot this round. I need more defenses. And I'm just slowing it down so it's kind of like bullet time, if you have seen The Matrix or something. I'm just going to build a couple more Dartling guns, even if that's not very effective. Just because I need more firepower. I'm going to put some more on the other side of the track next wave. That way I don't have to worry so much about Pierce. Because then once they get down to the bottom side, then the one I just placed will be a little more effective. Right now it's not too good because it's kind of piercing through one or two balloons. And oh wait a minute, it's around 45, which means I'm going to need some more firepower, like I said. And just building a bunch of Dartling guns is not really the best idea. But I've got a bunch of mortars, which aren't very effective against blimps, which I should have thought about earlier, because that is kind of a problem. Moab class Bloons is what I mean by blimps, which I'm sure you understood. But okay, so now I've got 7. I can't count. 7 Dartling guns, which should be enough if I have it in slow-mo, which isn't actually slow-mo, it's just not fast-forward, which feels like slow-mo when you're so used to fast-forward. But yeah, that's good that it got hit by some of that mortar tower destructiveness, and done. Alright. More Dartling guns, just for the sake of it. I should have thought more about that whole ceramic balloon thing, because those are really bad. Or, the balloon, what am I saying? Mortar towers are not very good against ceramic. Not sure why, probably just because ceramic is really tough. Being able to pop through I think it said pops through 2 layers every 6 seconds. That's actually not very good, if that's what it said. Maybe it was 6 layers in 2 seconds. I don't remember. The Bernie stuff, the way it damage over time, it's not very good against the ceramic because it has a lot of layers, which makes sense, I guess. But that's why you need something like the Dartling gun, or even the Sprockets Engineer, because then you have a fast fire rate and good pierce. That way you're being able to pop a lot of different ceramic balloons, like piercing through ceramic balloons, and being able to get through those layers quickly because of the rapid fire rate. But if you just have something like the bomb tower or like the mortars, then they're only getting through one layer at a short or a slow attack rate. And even all these Dartling guns aren't very effective because they don't have good pierce, even though they do have good attack rate. So even though they're sending out a bunch of darts, for one, they're missing quite a bit. But oh look, the big one! Devastatingly large explosions, and each pops through 5 layers of bloom. That's pretty good. That's decent against the ceramic balloons because they can pop through multiple layers. However, it's still pretty slow, so it's not exactly the best. Now, this should definitely be able to get through that Moab, because now I've got a whole bunch more Dartling guns. And I just realized that means that we're on round 50, so we're almost done! Yay! Dartling guns and mortars for the win! I guess. I don't know why I say that. And the engineer was helpful too, even though I probably should have used more engineers rather than just a bunch of Dartling guns. But unlocked access to Overclock. Activated ability Overclock. Target tower becomes super powered for 60 seconds. Basically just attacks faster. And rank up. Spectre. Without rival in the sky, the Spectre is a massive plane with immense firepower and accuracy. Ground 0. The ace drops a Bloontonium bomb, wiping the screen of all lesser balloons. I pretty much always go with Spectre and never Ground 0, because I never have to worry about wiping the screen. I can just destroy them before they get onto the screen, pretty much, with Spectre. So yeah, I'll show that off in another video. Congratulations, you finished this on easy, yay, and all that. Alright, so now we have 5,048, which means double Renga. Now I can make boomerang throwers twice as effective. Yay. I'll also show that off in the next episode. Which is actually funny, because I have the Boomerang Dojo specialty tower, or specialty building, and then now the double Renga, and I didn't even use my boomerangs in the last episode, which probably would have made that a lot easier. Alright, so that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.